And this is my story, and as I've been saying, my love letter to Atlanta is what sort of this exhibition is about. That's the sentimental part. But there's much more to it than that. We're at a interesting crossroads in Atlanta right now, and I think what makes it even more exciting is being raised in a city that we can say we birthed the civil rights movement, and how that has influenced those of us that have grown up here and lived here, and how that culture looks today and how it looked in the past. I've always been interested in using different kinds of media in the same story because I'm interested in stories. I'm particularly interested in film and how visually how we see films, and I'm interested in stories and how they are constructed in terms of literature. And being a Southerner and growing up with my grandfather was a writer, and my mother's sister was a writer, and so to grow up around writers, and then to grow up around the other side of the family who love to tell stories around the table, that's part of our history, is telling stories. So sort of I think it was the confluence of those two things coming together. And then also sort of realizing and growing up a bit and realizing that we do live in a nonlinear world. And that we live, and now I guess a tech term would be hypertext. So we live in a world where as all of us have been sitting here, different images have been coming into our minds at the same time, but those different images coming in are making up the story, and ours is important. And so, and in this particular case where the linen is wrapping, I mean, that is also about, you could think of theater and curtains, and then you can also think about concealment. Or about a window. You know, there are two ways to approach these ideas, and because photography for me has been as much about what is hidden as it is about what's revealed. If you could sketch or draw as a photographer, I think of those as my drawings. Mm-hmm. So to me, they're very much about drawing, and I love drawing and those are like the little moments when you're reading something and it says a couple of sentences in that paragraph that sort of like make your hair stand on the back of your neck, and yet, you know, they seem so sublime or so innocent. I think about what's happening in Atlanta's culture right now, and
customized.
It's customized. It's all about customization, and you could say and forgive me for this, but you know, when Scarlett O'Hara said that she was going to take the drapes down and make herself a dress, that maybe, you know, that sparked something. You know, that idea of making something your own. And I love the fact that these guys and girls are customizing their cars. I think it's far more interesting than buying something off the showroom floor. Here you see the paintings that Anna was talking about earlier that I'm known for as this curvy linear line. And that comes from text, from taggers, or writers rather, as they like to be known. And it started in 2000 with that particular tag, and that became the signifier for the content and the work. And then that grew out of it. So that's where the literature begins and where it ends, and the writing begins and where it ends. And that's how those come together.